create some sort of a hub model. We have not yet defined what that hub will look like, because we're waiting for more information from people like you to inform us. That will help educational providers and others work better together, so that information is more readily available to community members, and to create better access for people who are currently not accessing services. Those are people that are socially isolated. How do we reach these people, and how do we make sure that we don't replicate services that are already there but aren't necessarily working? So that's the background.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think you can do both if your group has come to a vision.
Okay, so any kind of service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, William. I'm William Clark. I'm one of the coordinators of the Downtown and we're heavily involved in the community. I live in the downtown east side, and we're also involved in a project to actually distribute free Wi-Fi down Hastings Street and in a few social housing complexes. So it's subject of accessibility.
Well, should we just jump into the first question?
Does it feel like a peer play? Does it feel like somewhere where you can just sit down and be welcomed?
Yes.
Are the ones doing the teaching or doing the activity, then that immediately becomes a more of a welcoming environment and more something where word of mouth can spread more easily.
Absolutely.
If they sort of work here and then live outside, it's a very different experience than living here and having, dealing with all the aspects of life here. And if somebody is, offering you help or offering you a class or teaching that has that same perspective, it's sort of instantly much more.
Like what I would say positive treasures, greater peer involvement, greater ability to foster person-to-person interactions and increase that, ability to continue follow-ups and supporting continued follow-up, and connected to that, the idea of taking people through the doors of institutions and really setting up the situation so that you can build that network of relationships. In terms of some of the things that can be a bit of difficulties are the temporary nature of grant-driven programs. Variety of programs that you might want to be able to access and be comfortable accessing, but not sure what they'll be coming to, what happens after it's over. So I also wrote down the goals of programs and the goals of individuals that always mesh up. And I'm not sure what to do with this though.
And value.
They found, not found, that might be of interest to the people at the other table, because I've heard discussion going on this table that's a little bit different than the one going on at this table.
Having a hub and having updated information, that's quality information, but also making that information really explicit in a physical way. And I gave the example of when I was a kid, there were neighborhood watch stickers, and I would walk to school and I would say, oh, there's a house that if someone's, like I feel endangered on the street, I can run to that house. Maybe we could think of a similar thing between the virtual interface of information and the physical. So if I walked by this office, I had no idea that this office actually provided, organic food on Wednesday afternoon or something like that. Well, I do now because there's that green sticker on the window that tells me that this is a food place. That if I'm interested in food, I can ask for information about that here. That kind of thing. It's just very, but really I think the key thing was around relationships, peer-to-peer support, and just feeling safe and building a sense of safety.
Follow-up.
And follow the continuity as well.
Always.
Great. Any comments from this group?
Well, pink is what's not working and orange is what's working, so you can see that we're fairly critical about what's not working. A couple of things that we felt didn't really exist that could benefit partnerships with oh, sorry, I don't know what that's a strategy. 24/7, is when we're saying 24/7 access to computers. People don't have that right now, and so for instance in residences, in shelters, that kind of thing. A red light district, a place where sex trade workers can safely and profitably do their work. Consolidated computer maintenance so that organizations can have affordable access to tech support, because a lot of us have had great computer programs, but as soon as the warranty wears out or whatever, we don't have any access. We have our hardworking volunteer tutors like Wilson trying to fix things, and it doesn't necessarily, we don't necessarily have the equipment or whatever to do that. Somebody mentioned the whole thing about kind of counseling in terms of education, a counseling system where you can kind of give someone an education pathway. I know that does exist right now at DEEC, but sadly not for much longer, as is the case in all of our programs. We're now being told we have to charge tuition for what should be a free service. Anyway, and then we only have one answer to the last question, and that's face-to-face outreach. Just sort of what you guys are saying. How to reach out to the most vulnerable, isolated. There's only one way, and that's through face-to-face contact, relationship building with people, one-to-one. All the computers in the world aren't going to reach out to those people. So.
Anybody else at this table have a comment? I'd like to thank all of you for sharing your time with us and your ideas. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to use this information, so this is really significant. And we've got note takers, so we're going to be able to follow up with this. We're going to take photographs of the two flip charts, so we have a visual memory, and we can certainly, we'll have a report. We're doing another workshop, and then we're going to have a report about that, which we will share with you.